I'm just going to ask you some questions about the city and the country. I would like you to give your honest thoughts and opinions. I will not take offence at any answer you may give.
Mm-hmm.
There is also no right or wrong answers. Also, throughout this interview, when I use the word country, I'm referring primarily to remote or rural New South Wales or other like areas. Question number one. Were you brought up in a country or a city area?
I was brought up in a city area.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to remote New South Wales?
No, I haven't been to remote New South Wales.
What do you think of when I say the word country? What is your mental picture or image of the country?
I see red dirt and bushland.
Mm-hmm. What do you associate with country?
Farming as a lifestyle and small towns. Like we've driven through country towns, so I kind of picture what that looks like when we drive down the main street. Just not too high buildings and a bit smaller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think of the country as disadvantaged?
I think yes in some respects, but not in all.
Mm-hmm. What are the disadvantages in your opinion?
I've looked a lot into educational disadvantages. So just by virtue of the nature that there are fewer people, so it's less of a priority to put good teachers or big schools, lots of schools out there. So often students will have to travel far to go to a school, and often the teachers there may not be the best ones that we can find.
Mm-hmm. Do you associate dirtiness or mud with country life?
I suppose so, yes, but you can be dirty in the city too.
Mm-hmm. Do you associate hardship with country life?
In a way, not hardship as like a difficulty, but hardiness in the nature of the people, because you can have hardship in the city too.
In general, what is your perspective of country life? So you may describe people, work, environment, landscape, etc.
Okay, so I come from Adelaide, so compared to Sydney, people often say it's country town, but it's not. And I think that the main difference that I see in these two places is that the people are just kinder. And I imagine that would be even more so in the country.
Are you generally annoyed when it rains?
I am when it rains for longer than 5 hours.
Around what temperature do you classify as a hot day?
Probably around 40.
What do you think of when I say the word city? What is your mental picture or image of the city?
I see Sydney CBD, so high skyscrapers, very tightly packed and not smelling so great.
What do you associate with the city?
Very loud noises, so constant traffic and bustle of people, and in a way like it's a bit dirty in the city.
Do you think of the city as disadvantaged?
I think yes, in very different ways though compared to the country. So I think the main disadvantage of living in a city like Sydney is that you're often trapped into a cycle of making money and then spending it, and so you don't have much time for family and friends.
Do you associate dirtiness with city life?
Yes. Yes.
Do you associate hardship with city life?
Yes, similar to what I was describing before, hardship in the sense that you're just continually working all the time.
In general, what is your perspective of city life? You may describe people, work, environment, landscape, etc.
So when I first moved to Sydney, my first perspective was that people are just too busy to be nice. And I think this links back to what I said before. People just have no time for other people.
Yeah. What are the differences between the country and the city in your opinion?
I think there are a huge amount of differences and a lot of people misunderstand them. I think the main difference would be what it looks like. So physically the landscape is just different. And as a correlation of that, the lifestyle is different. Maybe in the city we move faster, but that may or may not be a good thing.
Well, that's all. Thank you.
Oh, no worries.